Hey gang, what is going on? Welcome back once again to another Square Roundtable, the show where we break down one specific topic regarding the world of the WWE. If there's anything you want us to talk about, do yourself a favor, do us a favor, and drop a comment with a suggestion. Now, for this video, Ryan, you were not able to be part of this week's podcast where we talked about Raw, and the main event of that Raw was a tag team bout where Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt actually teamed. And for the first time, we really saw Bray Wyatt as a potential babyface. A lot of people were, I guess, a little bit happy because we've seen Bray Wyatt be a little bit stale during all these things that have been happening at WrestleMania, the Eric Rowan versus The Rock match. Now, unfortunately, Bray may even be injured, so who knows if anything that we're about to talk is ever going to happen, because during a European tour, I believe it was now, he was injured. Basically, at the very beginning of a match, it had to be stopped, and WWE, as of the recording of this video, Sunday, April 17th, they haven't really provided an update. But that being said, let's sort of put on the tinfoil hat and talk about a hypothetical Bray Wyatt. Kicking it off with you, Mr. McNulty. Were you happy when you saw that potential on Raw?
Absolutely. I mean, Bray Wyatt, we've seen what they've tried to do with him, and it's like they'll start and they'll stop with pushing him. And now with him attacking the League of Nations like a week before, and now this most recent Raw, he's teaming with Roman Reigns and working as a babyface, not just, fighting the bad guys, but the way he wrestled in this match was a babyface style, which we've never really seen from Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So it was very refreshing. I really enjoyed it. And, when he was getting ready for Sister Abigail, the way he actually pumped up the crowd was really into it. It's something that I feel like the people have wanted. They like participation, and Bray Wyatt's entrance is one of those things where people can participate. So now in his matches, there might be a way for them to participate as well. So I really liked it. So I hope this injury isn't, turns this, sour real quick.
We already have enough of those.
Yeah. So hopefully more good comes of this. I think it has a ton of potential because Bray Wyatt's nature is kind of going against the grain, and it might be the real anti-authority character we actually need.
Yeah. For a long time, I always thought a Bray Wyatt babyface run would never work. His character just doesn't seem like it functions in that way. But after seeing Raw, it really, it might actually work. I'm willing to admit that I was wrong. I got a very Undertaker face-like vibe from it, where you're not the good guy. You're not the guy that's going to I'm going to fight for everybody. But it's just oh, okay, I'm going to beat down the guys that I don't like, and those guys happen to beat up the other good guys, so I guess I'm teaming with you. I really like that, and from that Undertaker style, I think a Bray Wyatt face run could really work.
It's like you mentioned, Ryan. Bray Wyatt's entrance is meant to be a crowd experience, everything from the cell phone, etc. So people by default, even if they hate the character, they can't wait for him to come out because they want to pull out the cell phone. So this really does help the whole, what are they called? The Fireflies, right? They call themselves the Fireflies. So he can easily call them that. WWE loves to bring out all these trademark terms, so that's going to be something that's great for them now.
I mean, there was a point where Undertaker fans were called creatures of the night, right? They don't like to shy away from that stuff.
Didn't Jeff Hardy also use that? Yeah, right? In TNA.
Probably. Yeah, you're right.
I'm pretty sure he did. Now, I believe the reason that a lot of people are concerned is not because of guys like The Undertaker, but when you see guys like Kane, and we talked about this previously in our Kane Spotlight, when somebody goes from being a monster or this mystical or special character, and all of a sudden they turn into a good guy, they're doing spinneroonies, they're doing all these crazy things. So with Bray Wyatt, you can't help but think, are they going to go that route? Because then at this point...
Please, no.
Yeah. But personally, I am looking forward to it because, honestly, how many times have we been burnt out by this whole Bray Wyatt taking over the world, going to take John Cena out, only to then lose, but then he has to he's the new face of fear, even though he loses against somebody like The Undertaker?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just need a totally new direction with Bray Wyatt. Too many times he's talked a big game and not lived up to it. And I think we've heard reports that the Authority is going away really soon. And Bray Wyatt's always said, down with the machine and stuff like that. So I really feel like this is the perfect opportunity to have Bray Wyatt do something babyface-like and meaningful if he gets into a feud with Triple H and is actually able to get rid of the Authority. Then they're the biggest babyfaces on the roster, and they can kind of just play this role because, I mean, Wyatt, I don't think is going to have an issue being like a babyface, but the key is how are you going to get people to like Rowan and Strowman too?
That's it right there.
So they got to kind of play like this misfit oddball team that people can kind of relate to them that way, that they're kind of like the real outcasts as opposed to the social outcasts. They need some relatability, and it's going to be tough, like you said, with the whole comedy thing. I feel like as babyfaces, Rowan and Strowman kind of have to have some
because otherwise, what else would they do?
Yeah, otherwise, if they're just monsters...
Maybe that's their point. Maybe they take the comedy aspect. Maybe they almost deflect that off of Wyatt, where Wyatt can... Almost like Wyatt's the Undertaker and the rest of the family is Kane in that respect.
Everybody's Kane.
Everybody's Kane.
Now, say hypothetically... he does become the key component in getting rid of the Authority in some form. Does this eventually lead to a championship opportunity? Because even right now, what's happening with Roman Reigns is that he's getting booed, right? Whether it be he's a good guy or a bad guy or the guy, that is what's happening. We don't know when Seth Rollins is coming back. We don't know what's going to happen with John Cena, who should be coming back at some point. Removing the fact that Bray Wyatt could be injured based on what happened in this tour, do you think that within the next 2 to 3 pay-per-views, we could have a main event match between Bray Wyatt and Reigns?
I don't think you have to. It's something they could do, but if they want him to be... I mean, if Reigns is heel, I guess you can do it, because there's hints that we're going in that direction too. But I think you could keep him as far away from the title as you wanted. I think even in a recent interview, I think Sam Roberts, he did an interview, he said, they don't need titles. That's kind of like the great thing about their character. So it's really, you can pick and choose your spots and people won't feel like, oh, he needs his run right now for the title. Because it seems like that whole title situation's locked up for the time being. Reigns is going to keep it probably till at least SummerSlam, and you get Seth Rollins coming back. So things are going to get pretty crowded up there. And like I said, the beauty of it is you can pick and choose your really good spots to give Wyatt title shots. I don't think has he ever even gotten a one-on-one title shot? I think he's always kind of been thrown into multi-man matches. So
not that
as far as I know.
No, I think you're right about that. And that's kind of the beauty. If this works, there's a big disclaimer, if this works, with Bray Wyatt's character, he doesn't need to be champion. He just needs to be over as a character. Because even as a face or a good guy, a championship doesn't really make sense for Bray Wyatt's character. It's more about the control and taking down the Authority, the machine. How do you do that with a championship?
I think the issue is that we're so trained to have okay, so if this bad guy becomes a good guy, it's because he's eventually going to have a championship run, and then during that run, he will turn heel again, therefore turning his back on the WWE Universe. Bray Wyatt actually had an interview, I believe it was a written one, I don't think it was the Sam Roberts one, pretty recently, around WrestleMania time, where he explained that to this day, WWE is still not sure what to do with his character, and it's true because...
I think it was that same interview, actually.
Was it that interview?
Yeah, where he said, they still don't know what to do with him.
Right. I listened to that interview, right. Now, I just think it's interesting because here you have a guy that really does break the mold from a physical standpoint, because Bray Wyatt's not exactly 6'8". He's not a short guy, but he's also not a buff guy, so when you look at him on paper, it should be a failure, and to some extent, his character has not gotten to where it could be, but I do think that now they can really capitalize on that. I just don't know how, given the context of, there's always this Authority versus a babyface storyline. I think that whatever happens with them should be where they're trying to take over the show, even if it's for a good purpose. Like, they take down the Authority, but as good guys, they can sort of, play around with all of the heels in the company. Would you guys want to see something like that happen, maybe?
Well, I think the key word you said there was purpose, and I think that's what we've wanted from the Wyatts forever is, I don't care if you're babyface or heel, what is the reason you're here? What is your goal? What is your motivation? If they're not going to care about titles, at least have them care about something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully Bray Wyatt is not injured, and if he is injured, let's hope it's a couple of weeks. We will do our best to cover the Bray Wyatt situation on the podcast, which is available every single Tuesday night right here on the YouTube channel. By the way, we also want to thank you once again. We just crossed 5,000 subscribers, so if you have not, hit that subscribe button, and as I mentioned at the top of the video, give us your recommendations for topics you would like us to discuss here. Individual special topics like this. Maybe it's a top 10, like we have our top 10 WrestleMania stages video available right here on the channel, as well as Fight Night and a bunch of other cool stuff. So until next time, thank you for watching. Bray Wyatt, please do not be injured, and we will be back with tons more right here on Byte That.